But again, it would be nice to see your faces anyhow. Yeah, it's always nice to see faces, and particularly during the meditation time, I prefer to look at your faces. But again, if you feel uncomfortable, then that's fine. Okay. Right. So let's start off a day by listening some of the stories from David. David.
Okay, thank you, Jean. Good
Again.
afternoon, everyone. Um, I'll keep my introduction quite short this morning. Um, the reason Ajahn says he likes to see our faces is, of course, because he likes to observe our practice. Um, and that includes, of course, our body posture, because our body posture and how well we're settled and our movement during our practice is quite a good indication of how settled our mind is. So if you think Ajahn likes to see our faces because we all look pretty, he has other reasons for wanting to see our faces and bodies. Um, and since most of us don't ask questions afterwards, it means he can make observations about our practice without anyone asking a question. Um, but I thought, since we're recording, I'd better just say welcome to the Varapunya Meditation Center, Mindfulness Monday. There'll be those who, of course, who will be looking at the recording um, afterwards, maybe, and who maybe have not joined before. So the Mindfulness Meditation Center at Westhill in Aberdeen is a Buddhist meditation center where we focus on the practice of the teaching of mindfulness meditation practice. Of course, we teach Buddhist teaching as well, but the core of our practice is mindfulness meditation practice, because it's taking control of how our mind works in this crazy world that helps us to develop a more happy, more peaceful way of life. And there's so many people who, not just our courses, but our other our, courses on mindfulness and meditation around the country, whether it be with the School of Theravada practice or other Buddhist practices who teach mindfulness meditation. And the reason all the schools of Buddhism teach mindfulness meditation is, of course, because it's at the heart of what the Buddha discovered. Meditation was around for quite a long time before the Buddha's life, but what the Buddha discovered through his years of practice was how there is so much suffering in the world, even 2,600 years ago, and how all of that suffering comes from the mind, how the mind sees and interprets what it observes through our body senses, our sight, our touch, our smell, our taste, and how we develop likes and dislikes. And it's this developing likes and dislikes and the attachment to this and the attachment to that, attachment to things that give us pleasure, but also attachment to things that give us pain. And the attachment of the mind to these things is what causes us suffering. So the Mindfulness Monday developed through a partnership with the Aberdeen City Health and Social Care Partnership at the Health Village in Aberdeen on the last Monday of every month. And as most of you will know that have been there, that attracted typically 20 or 30 people on the last Monday of every month, mostly staff or clients of the health centre, the health village in Aberdeen, who came along to learn more about mindfulness meditation practice. And out of that, we developed some short courses and also did some work with other agencies that were referred to us, both in the public and private sector. And out of that, from the courses that we ran, we established support groups, which until lockdown, we had every Wednesday lunchtime at the Credo Cafe in Aberdeen in John Street. And I noticed just this morning that the Credo Cafe has opened up again today. And I don't know what appetite there will be for bringing together a small number of people for a lunchtime practice. But I will email out again shortly just to test to see whether there is an appetite for coming together again, because one thing I've found, and I don't know about you, but there's so much Zoom stuff going on, so much online stuff going on. And I'm a good example of that this morning. Before joining you today, I had a meeting with my son in Australia that was an hour. And before that, I was doing work on the computer, and my body feels stiff and sore around some of the joints because I've been sitting so long and looking at the screen. So I'm convinced that there's something to be gained by personal contact, meeting together in a safe environment where people can come together and practice. So watch out on your emails, because I will be testing shortly the appetite for people getting back together and joining in a practice support group, perhaps at Credo again. I've emailed them already and asked what the rules will be, and let's hope I can get some positive response to that. And meantime, we're talking to a couple of groups in Aberdeen. I won't say who they are for the moment. Groups that work with people who have trauma and their own personal difficulties, about running some weekly sessions for them as well. So there's no doubt that people find suffering in a variety of ways and find mindfulness meditation as a wonderful antidote, a new way in which we can live our lives in a different, more peaceful way. I've also been well aware that we've not been able to practice walking meditation in the way that would be good, which is why I sent out some guidance to those who were interested in it. Because online, we can't practice walking meditation in a really meaningful way. So hopefully, if we can restart some of our support group work, then we can go back to practicing walking meditation again. So, and the last thing I wanted to mention, I'm sure Ajahn will mention it again, Mental Health Week is coming up, and we're planning to have a day event at the centre, an open air event, hopefully if the weather is good, when people can come together and have various practices in mindfulness meditation practice, both sitting and walking in the wonderful field and woodland that we're developing there. So with the lockdown easing, there's some wonderful opportunities opening up again. And with a bit of luck, we'll be able to take some advantage of that. Meantime, I know from emails I've had and also messages to Ajahn that the mindfulness meditation practice has been a fabulous support to people at difficult times. And it's important, even though we're coming out of that lockdown, as we've always said, it's a lifetime experience of practice, continuing to develop and fine-tune the practice so that we can bring it in to our everyday lives more and more. And as one of my, well, not one of my teachers, but at a talk I went to many years ago in Edinburgh, from a very famous female nun teacher who travels the world teaching, who said we should be grateful to life for it gives us so many opportunities to practice compassion, caring, loving kindness, all those qualities that add to our daily meditation practice and make it meaningful. And so with that, Ajahn, I think I will hand over to you and let you continue with the Mindfulness Monday practice for today.
So thank you very much, David, for the introduction and lots of other things. After hearing what David was saying today, I couldn't catch any. Normally I could catch something and I would develop from there. So there's so many things that David brought up today. Yeah. So this is, and particularly, the last bit one that David was saying, that now we have lockdown ease, and we have another suffering arising. What I want to do, where I'm going to do, or lots of a suffering of a planning. It's just substituting from one trouble to another in a different way. And some of you probably thinking of how can I go to this place and that place, and how can I get the holidays, and who's gonna look after my child, and who's gonna look after my dogs and cats when I go to the work while shopping. So it's another suffering. So it's just from old suffering to the new suffering. That's a small transition. And meanwhile, David was saying about this walking meditation, and I do feel quite a lot over this time, the teaching online, that unlikely we can practice walking meditation. And I remember this walking meditation, like nowadays I'm teaching a group, not a group of students, master's degree students in Thailand. There are 167 every day for 10 days. And they have to practice online walking meditation. So basically they will put the camera very far away and then they are walking, following the instruction. Probably this would be another option that we can do. But again, a walking meditation is always very helpful, and it's always good to distract ourselves from just the sitting, and also will kind of a new understanding that practice of a mindful meditation is not just about the sitting, not just about the sitting, it's about other activities too. And nowadays, sometimes it is known as so-called mindful movement. Can you imagine? You are telling off to be mindful what you are doing nowadays. You should be mindful of doing this. You should be mindful of doing that. And when you are eating, you should be mindful. When you're walking, you should be mindful. When you're talking, you should be mindful. Are you aware of that? Yeah? Don't be annoyed. Okay, I'm also repeating again. So this mindful movement is really, really good, particularly if you are on retreats. Just sitting and meditating, oh, it's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. because your mind will play all sort of stories, all sort of things invading you. And that moment, you need some distractions. And the best distraction is stand up and move. Stand up and move. So that is the mindful movement. And basically, mindfulness, as we know, is just the presentness here in now. That's all. And all what we are learning, or all what I am telling you every day, all the time, is be mindful, be present here and now. That's all. Yeah? And if you remember, I told, I was referring that in Chinese, there is a word for the mindfulness is the presentness of your heart. Presentness of your heart, whatever you do, whatever you are doing, whatever you are speaking. That's all. And in the mindfulness movement is also like that. When you are standing, you're just standing. When you are walking, you're just walking. When you are sleeping, just sleeping, not sleeping with so many thoughts and you can't sleep. And when you're eating, again, just eating. You're not eating thoughts. You're eating food. So you're eating food. You're not eating thoughts. And normally what happens? We are eating thoughts. You put the one full mouth, and then rather than enjoying this taste, the texture, the food, you will be thinking, what I'm gonna do, why he's doing this, why she's doing that, why she said like that, oh, I haven't done this, oh, I haven't done that, all sort of stories there. And then what happened? You got the digestion problem. Yeah, so that's because you are eating thoughts, you're not eating food. And the practice of a mindfulness meditation is basically be mindful that I am eating, enjoying the eating, enjoying the tastes, the texture. And further on, nowadays, if we look at the connection, the so-called network theory of network, or network theory in a social science, to get one food, there are so many people involved, and one food has traveled so long, so far. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I was talking to Lena when she came to plant some beans here in the center, and David was planting some potatoes, and we had a short discussion. And Lena said that there was a study that people, the primary school children were asked that, do you know where you get the food from? And they say, oh, from the supermarket. Yeah, because they never saw, they never told. That same thing with us. So we, rather than taking granted for, we should be appreciating that how did this food came into my plate. And every mindful eating is basically you are appreciating it. You're not connecting to so many people, so many things in nature. And with that, what happens? The stress is already gone. Half is gone. Yeah? Your stress is half is gone as you eat mindfully. Your mind is not everywhere. Your mind is here in the moment. So presentness of your heart. Your heart is here in the moment. And when your mind is here in the moment, what happens? Whatever you do, it will be perfectly fine because your intention is there. Yeah? Your intention to do, your intention to function anything is there. You have a focused mind. And when you have this a focused mind, the intention to do that, your attention is completely there. Undivided attention is there. So you're respecting to yourself, your body, your mind, your food, or your partners or members, those who are eating together. And that's how it'll generate the positivity, the right attitude. generate this right attitude to the whole environment, whole situation. That's all we are practicing, to be mindful. But the moment when we are not um, bringing this heart to the moment, what happens? We will be judging, we will be judging, we will be thinking too much, and then with that we will be feeling of fear, worries, upset. huh? Why this is not happening? Why this is not that? Why this is not that, like that? Goes on, and there will be a impulse of a fighting, or fighting back, or expecting something, or running away, and the body becomes tense. The body feels different types of attention, and some people will turn to different substances to feel better. That's why alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, people turn to, because simply the impulse is there, and that's all begins from one single thought. Yeah, from one single thought, and not knowing that thought, and all these will just stops the moment when you come back to the moment, here and now. Yeah? Whatever we are doing, we know we are doing. In our meditation sessions, we have a very famous sutta or discourse called the Satipatthana. In the Satipatthana the discourse, there's one particular section. It's called Iriyapada. That means movement. Iriyapada. That means the section on movements. And here it says that when you are walking, understand properly that you are walking. And when you are standing, understand properly that you are standing. And when you are sitting, understand properly that you are sitting. When you are lying down, understand properly that you are lying down. And further on, it says, whichever position your body is, understand it properly. Isn't that easy? Isn't that easy? It's very easy. But what happens normal day? We walk, okay, I'm very tired, so now I need to go for a walk. And we walk rather than enjoying the birds singing, the beautiful nature, the birds, the three birds are coming out. We will be gossiping. If you're walking with your friend, you'll be talking about this third person. Oh, I met her yesterday, and here I was talking to her, and she was talking this, and she was talking that, and he was like this. I wonder why. Goes on. And you missed. What did you miss? You missed the beautiful bird is singing there. You missed the birds, the tree leaves are just coming out. You missed the beautiful nature, beautiful noise. So this is how we are. But the practice of a mindfulness movement is when you are going, leave behind everything and enjoy everything. So a good mindfulness practitioner will see a tree as a tree. And someone who never practiced, he doesn't see tree. He sees a person, he sees a word, he sees the complaints, he sees the other stories. And what happens? After you come back, you're tired. Because you're feeding with so many other things. So practice of a mindful movement doesn't matter what you are doing. Is simply properly knowing that you are doing it, whichever ways you are doing. And if you remember, I give you all have a task to perform. 15 seconds of a mindfulness. Yeah, do you remember? 15 seconds. I'm not asking 15 minutes. 15 seconds of a mindfulness. I hope you managed to do that. I hope you managed to do that. But if we can't, what happens? Whenever these different thoughts arises, emotions arises, then we try to push it away. Any thoughts that we don't like, we try to push it away, try to avoid, try to run away. And it is not the case. Our mind is designed in such a way, even the neuroscientists found. The more we run away from an object that we dislike, that means that become more visible. Because subconsciously we are thinking of that. I don't like it. I don't like it. The best way is let it come. Welcome. Goodbye. Because you have seen it. You have understood it. And with that, what happens? It's easy to let go. It's not like you put the things under the carpet and you will forget. You won't forget. You will always remember that I have put this secret under this carpet. So, I like that. All the emotions and things, whatever we have hidden and we are trying to push it away, is basically still there, haunting us. They're still there, even though if we don't like it. Although we think that, oh, we are not aware of that, but we are still aware of that. We think we are better hiding. No, we are not. The more we hide, our complexion of the face will change. The way we are thinking will be changed. The way we eat will be changed. The way we look at the world will be changed. And then people think that taking alcohol, taking cigarettes and drugs helps them. No, that will make even worse. There will be double problem. One problem is already in their mind, and then new problem is creating by consuming more drugs or alcohols and cigarettes. You're paying more, and then also you're damaging your body. So another double problems you're creating. Yeah. So our mind is such a way that created. We have to know it that this is there. And whatever we do, that becomes visible, that becomes strengthened. Like when we go to the gym, what happens? The more we go, muscles will develop. We can see the difference. Same with our mind too. So that's why Eckhart Tolle, he said once that whatever you fight, you are strengthening it. Yeah? You are strengthening it. And what you are trying to resist, that persists. So whatever feelings and whatever emotions you are having, and that all created by single thought, created by one single thought, all the emotions and feelings and thoughts. And one single thought, you are putting so much energy, and that's how it's become more strengthened and persist continuously. All what we are doing, open your heart, open your mind, knowing that I am having it, knowing that this is there. And this you can do simply enjoying the moment, observing that any thoughts arises when you are sitting quietly. When you are moving, you're aware of everything what's happening, enjoying the nature, enjoying the birds singing, enjoying the trees and plants. The moment when we are able to watch our own thoughts, then we become mindful of that. And the moment when we become mindful of it, rather than going into the cycle of creating the so many stories up to the emotion, and we become depressed, we will be happy because we have opened our mind and opened our hearts. So whenever you go to do something, just try to be mindful and not doing with the thoughts. And I think I have mentioned this previously as well, that Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the famous Zen master, he used the word saying, When you are washing a dish, only wash your dish. Yeah, simple is that. So when you are walking, just properly know that you're walking. That's it. Huh? But here we are here to practice meditation. So it's time to practice meditation. And here again, leaving all your responsibilities. Doesn't matter what's going on. Doesn't matter who is going to call. Doesn't matter who is going to knock the door. Doesn't matter what's going around. Forget about it. Enjoying you are here sitting. You being here and now. Okay, so with the gong, I will lead you to practice the meditation. So grab your comfortable seats. Okay. So today's practice, you can open your eyes. Okay. First of all, you can open your eyes and just stretch yourself a little bit. So like moving, you're aware, slowly. There is no intention to do anything, whatever you're moving. That's your shoulders, your head, around, or stretching your body a little bit. See, talking to your body. And you see the cracks and tensions. And as you move around, see, you feel that the body relaxes. Right? And then after you feel that the whole body feels in the present, now you can slowly close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, simply feeling the entire body sitting here and now. So observing the entire body sitting. And when you observe, you may feel some of the tensions still persist in somewhere in your body, and you may wiggle around or move around to find a comfortable position. Like you're imagining you're sitting in front of the mirror, looking at your sitting body, and scanning the entire body. Feeling, not by thinking, by feeling. When you're trying to feel the entire body sitting, you realize that breathing in and breathing out takes place. So breathing in or breathing out. When you breathe in and breathe out, what happens in your body? Is there tensions in your hands or in your legs or in your shoulders? And simply observing the breathing in and breathing out. It could be in your abdomen, the movement taking place, aware of that movement. As it rises, as it falls. So incoming breath, outgoing breath, it rises and it falls. Aware of that. And consciously making a mental note of it, that rising, falling, in and out, rising, falling. When you're paying attention to the rising and falling of abdomen, thoughts emerges, noise comes, different sounds comes, or even the other sensation in your body comes. Whatever arises, simply noting them, by observing, acknowledging, and noting, and let it be. Any thoughts arises, recognizing that these are the thoughts. So breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. As your mind settled, mind becomes focused, concentrated. You may think of any particular upset or emotionally feel really bad, and thinking, why? What is the cause? What is the reason that I was feeling like that? Is that because of that person, or because you don't like this person, or you don't like this subject? Or is that because it didn't match with our expectation? When you're contemplating on any upsets or emotions, not bringing that person, not bringing that situation, just simply observing that and letting it be, letting it go. So observing, acknowledging, noting that I'm having this thought, and let go. Breathing in, rising, breathing out, falling. Understanding that things arises due to the condition, and all conditions, things affect us as we engage. So with the gong, you can open up, come out from meditation. Okay. So this is a short practice, and now this is the floor is open to you all to share and to question anything that you would like to ask. I'm not one to hear anything that's from your under the carpet that is hidden. Okay. Okay. Anyone?
Can I share some? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I've just spoken over someone.
Okay.
Okay, Angela, go on, go on.
Oh, is that Maria? Yeah, so I'm starting a new business venture today, and I can see it being extremely stressful, and I just want to know what I should do on a daily basis beyond I do morning meditations at 8 o'clock every morning for half an hour with a teacher in Edinburgh. And I just want to know beyond that, like if I get to the point where I'm feeling really super stressed out in the day, how can I take that 5-10 minutes to just recenter myself? What would you recommend?
Well, the first thing is if you are starting a new business and stress is okay.
Okay.
It's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, when you are working in the business and if something happens suddenly, then that moment, all what you need is take a long breath and spend 15 seconds. And if possible, go to the toilet and stay probably a couple of minutes that you're allowed. And you can spend time, but do not take a mobile phone with you.
No.
Just you go and take a long breath and enjoy the moment free from everything. Yeah, and do not question that why this is happening to me.
Okay.
And if you are in the hospitality business, then think that how grateful they are coming to you, and you have how grateful you are that you're providing this compassionately, helping them to have, let's say, a coffee, and then in return they are paying you to have this business going on.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to be pursuing my passion in life, which is property. So I'm a estate agent.
Or even then what's better, you can think of, I'm giving them a big house, and they're giving me
selling houses.
Yeah, so you're in between, so basically just need to be mindful of whenever you feel the tension in your body, whenever you feel that there is something needed, then again you can just take a breath, and sometimes you don't need anything, just little pause and excuse me, okay, and then like you can pretend that you are looking at something on a computer, but you are mindful, be aware of your sensations, and you're aware of emotions. And some other mindful activities you can do is pressing your fingers just to come back to the moment.
Yeah, I do that in the morning meditations from time to time. We are directed to do that so that throughout the day we can just center ourselves by pressing our first two finger, our thumb and our first finger, just sort of reminding ourselves to be calm.
But when you are doing, do not say that I need a calmness. You just do it with mindfulness. When you feel that there is something wrong, then you know that you need it, and then you just do it, not expecting that I will be in a super duper good after this. No, you just do it with a mindfulness. Feel all the pressure that you are pressing, enjoying the breath you are taking. And another, what I normally do is I just take a long breath, full, and I hold it, and then I blow it without anybody knowing it, blowing so slowly that even a person who is sitting next to me won't realize that I was breathing out, and that will take a long time. And then you're blowing it out on a completely empty in your stomach, and then you will, then after that you will take again the natural fresh breath coming in.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Okay, so these are some of the mindful movements you can practice whenever you feel the stress. And again, if you really need it, go into the toilet for 3-4 minutes and just chill out there. Okay, so Karina.
Hi, thank you. So I want to share a bit my meditation just now, what happened, because I was wondering, Ajahn, if when we are meditating, I know that we have to focus, it helps focus on the breathing, but what about if a thought comes and we can have the space to think about it, acknowledge, and kind of have an epiphany and solve it. So it's like, because when you were mentioned that perhaps there is something going on with somebody or a situation, and that triggered a thought on me. And then you continue going on, and you said, perhaps it's us that are expecting something. And actually, that's what is happening. So there is a lot of tension in between me and other person. And even if we are present in the same room and we don't say anything, you can feel that tension. And actually, maybe it's me that is expecting something. Maybe that the other person is expecting something as well. So from the moment that I realized that after you said it, it kind of went quiet and it gone, that thought. So I wonder if, like, when we are meditating, do we actually have time to do that? Can we do that? Or should we simply just focus on the breathing and let the thought comes and acknowledge and let it go? Can this be a knowledge as well?
Yes. So whenever we are paying attention to the breath or the abdomen, it's just the practice. It's a training ground. It's like you are a soldier, you are training in the battlelands, and then just getting ready to fight with everything. So when you are practicing in this way, whatever other things comes, that if you may have heard me saying secondary objects. So these are all the thoughts and itchiness and the upsets and all are simply the secondary object. So we simply go and watch them and then let go. And in terms of a person, so in terms of in the same room, you have to deal with a person who you dislike. Yeah, you can't control over that person. You can't expect from that person, but you can change yourself. If he or she is not saying good morning, you can say good morning. Nothing wrong. You can smile. Nothing wrong. But if you're expecting, oh, I am senior, you should say good morning. Oh, you should smile to me. You should come to me. Then you can't. But if you say, good morning, and you smile, how are you? You are changing yourself. And who will get the benefit? You will get the benefit, not that person. You never know what he is thinking. You never know what he was planning. But we know I am feeling uncomfortable, and now I need to make it comfortable. The ways to make it comfortable is communication. General communication. Although you dislike this person, you don't like at all, but you need a space. So smile. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you? It's a lovely weather, although it's raining. Yeah. So it's in our hand to change to the different environment. And all what we need a space. That's all. Yeah. So we have the power to change over our actions, but not others.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Went very quiet again.
apologies for that noisy phone interruption earlier.
No, no, it's okay.
I wasn't
It's okay.
expecting that to be a call that was coming through at all.
That's fine. That's fine. In the meditation, at the beginning, people think that noise and distractions are bad, and sometimes they complain about it. But they are very good. It's a challenge telling you that how can be mindful. What needs to be done. They are good friend. I call it good friend. Yeah, it's helping you to develop more concentration, more mindful. Oh, this is happening. I need to be more mindful. So once you have crossed one stage, then there will be no distractions. The all becomes a friend. David wants to say something, please.
Yes, Ajahn, that's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about an event in Edinburgh I was at quite a few years ago, and it stuck with me very much at the time and has stuck with me ever since. When the teacher said, life, we should be grateful to those in life who challenge us because it gives us an opportunity to practice mindfulness by showing gratitude. If someone has done something that makes us angry or upset, we should be grateful to them. It sounds odd, but we should be grateful to them because it gives us an opportunity to practice kindness, generosity, understanding, aware that that person who's upset us maybe has not been in a good mood, someone has made them angry. And life is an opportunity to practice, she said. And we should be grateful to all these opportunities.
Yeah.
And not see them so much negatively, but an opportunity to develop our kindness, our generosity, our patience, our perseverance and persistence, all these qualities that support our mindfulness practice in daily life.
Makes us strong. Problem makes us strong. Problem makes us creative. Yeah? That's why human beings are so adaptable in every situation. That's why we are the only species are not extinct from the world. So every distractions are friend, and there is nothing negatives actually. Negative and positive is all our proliferation. We dislike a person because he or she does something wrong to me, and then we are thinking that whatever he or she does, everything becomes wrong. Actually, he or she is doing something good to somebody. And the same thing with the words that we say was bad. That he or she said to me so bad. The word hasn't got any trouble. Our perception to the world is a trouble. The word is a trouble. Yeah? So practice of a mindfulness helps us to be aware of these things, how we are connecting and how we are understanding it. And in here today, I think mostly I will try to emphasize on the mindful movements since we touched at the beginning. Whatever you're doing, just try to be mindful and not thinking that's so hard. This one is so hard. If it's very hard and you can't do it, just leave it. You can change the pathway. You have done your best. That's it. So nothing to regret and nothing to worry about it. You have done your best. And whatever you're doing, just do mindfully. Mindful walk, mindful talk, mindful movement. And that's how you gain the more, I call it collecting the points to get the breath and get a better in the practice. Like if you become an athletics running, then you will be running every day. You will be pushing a little bit. Oh, today 1 kilometer, and tomorrow maybe 2 kilometers, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 3 kilometers, up to you increasing one after another, one after another. And there is the intention to increase more and more. And eventually you can become a person who can cross or reach the destination that you planned early on. So in the practice of a meditation is something like that too. So we want to use it in everyday life. So we have to collect the points like that, doing this, doing that, and just simply being a mindful. And with that, eventually it's become a second nature. And you don't have to tell yourself, oh, I need to be mindful now. I need to be paying attention to it. It won't be like that. And it's become a second nature when you're doing, oh, you're paying attention to it very well. And with that, sometimes people say, oh, if you're practicing Vipassana meditation like this, you have no feeling, you have no emotion, because you're observing it very objectively all the time. Actually, the practice of a meditation, the more you become aware of it, these emotions become even more aware of it. Only reaction becomes different. Before you will be reacting immediately, and now you're reacting with very mindfully. Only difference is that. When we meditate, we hear more than before we meditate. We become more conscious about things than before we meditate. And like even walking now, when we are going for a walk, someone who never practiced mindfulness will never understand. And now after you have studied and practiced, whenever you go for a walking, you try to spare sometimes, may not be all the time, sometimes try to notice this tree, or maybe start to talk to the trees, start to talk to the leaves, and then try to speak with the birds. And that's how you go on. There is a saying, as long as you're talking to the trees and the birds are okay. The moment when trees and birds replying, that's not okay. Okay, so mindfulness meditation basically enjoy the nature. You enjoy, and being mindful of every moment, whatever you are doing, wherever you are. So life become much easier, happier, and you will be able to adapt in every situation, and you have full power to change every situation from worse to good. And there is nobody is perfect, and you are with somebody who is imperfect. That means you have understanding that, oh, I am better than that person, so I need to help that person. So you will be changing yourself, helping yourself and helping others. If somebody is nasty, you're changing yourself. You can't change that person. You can't change that person. You're changing. And this mindfulness will help. And this little movement will help. Hello, how are you? Or you just do smile things and small things. It changes whole scenario, whole environment. And we are happy. We are happy. Like when we moved into this place 4 years ago, there are few people dislike us because they didn't know. They're ignorant about us. And now everybody likes it. Everybody comes and talk because now they know. We welcome them. We talk to them. And then all activity that we are running is to help other people. So with that, everybody's happy. And that's the one which David was talking about, that we are going to have this interfaith mindful event on the 23rd, Sunday the 23rd of May. which is going to start at 2 o'clock. We have a few different faith groups are coming and giving on the nature, talks on the nature, reflection on nature. Hope the weather is going to be good so that we can have a few people joining in. And if not, we'll see. We just need to be mindful of the COVID-19 like that. Okay. And in terms of a teaching at the center, apart from what David has said, I've been really busy. Like yesterday, from 6 o'clock morning until 9:30, I was teaching, busy, so all day. And today also, this morning, 2 times, and now this is the third time. Yeah. So center is really busy in terms of a teaching, and so it's this blame goes to COVID-19 now. But again, they helped a lot of people as well. So like this, okay. Anybody has got anything to ask or anything? Yes, David.
There's 2 things, Ajahn. If anyone wants details of the Wednesday morning support group, still doesn't have that, perhaps email Ajahn and he'll pass that on to me, and I'll make the connection. One other thing, particular on Angela's point, but I think it applies generally. I saw a nice little saying the other day. You know, sometimes we get into arguments in family, with friends, and the argument comes a little hotter and it gets a little deeper, and we can't let go. We can't let go of our side of the argument. And it happens in work and business as well. I came across this little saying. Sometimes it's okay just to stop and let the other person be wrong.
I think I saw the same thing.
I did circulate it, but I think it's just a nice one, because sometimes our ego so much wants us to be right in an argument with friends or family or at work or with someone over something we feel we've been done wrong or we're right, and our ego is so strong and we can't let go. And it's another little one just to carry around in our heads. Sometimes it's okay just to let the other person be wrong.
It's when you have the little smirk and smile on your face without saying anything, and then people wonder why you're so content with yourself.
Yeah, just let it go. No big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Normally the sessions is actually 2 hours, but in the past we normally finished an hour and a half. Okay. If no one, then let's do the practice, and after that we'll stay for a few moments if anybody wants to talk, share things which won't be on YouTube. Okay. Let's grab your seats and do the practice of a loving kindness meditation to finish off. So bring your attention to the moment, here and now. Aware of your sitting body. And relax. And observing whatever is happening in your body. due to the breath coming in and going out. And just be yourself, aware of your body, aware of your mind, and aware of your thoughts. And consciously making a decision to know as it is taking place, such as when breathing in and breathing out, it rises and falls, consciously making a mental note, rising, falling. Or I know that I'm breathing in, I know that I'm breathing out. So consciously making a mental note. And whatever emotions and feelings, the aches and pains comes, rather than moving your limbs and legs and then reacting immediately, watching it, observing it, simply using the formula that we are familiar with nowadays is observing, acknowledging, noting, and let it be. So now we will practice loving kindness meditation. So feel the beating heart. So bring your attention to feel the beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself. May I be happy, sharing the happiness that you really want to be. May I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. May I be able to maintain my happiness. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one. My parents, husband or wife, children, family, friends and relatives, and all other sentient beings. Or any particular person that you would like to share to begin with. Whichever beings there are, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from suffering, free from anger, jealousy, hatred, ill will, animosity, May they be free from troubles of body and mind. May all beings be happy. May all beings be liberated. Liberated. Now bring your attention to your hands, awareness of your hands, whatever sensations going on in your hands. Be mindful of it. And to your body, awareness of sensations in your body. And as you hear the gong, slowly opening your eyes and coming out from meditation. Okay, so thank you everyone. I wish you all the best for a whole month, and I hope that you practice at home as well, and particularly 15 seconds of a practice, making sure that you're practicing. Okay, and we'll come back, see you last Monday of the month next month, or you can follow me on Facebook or YouTube. I'll also join David's sessions on Wednesday morning, or the class that is coming to be. So with this, may you all be well and happy. Thank you.